Alright, Shalom. I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Salutation to all the brothers and a few sisters out there. Unto his life foreigners from the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Shalom in Hebrew, which means peace. It's going to be a quick show to the spirit of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai. Lord willing, our brothers edifying. Which I don't think is going to be a long show. I seen this little documentary. To make a long story short, I'm obviously from the tribe of Levi, and what I mean obviously, but I'm from the tribe of Levi. So my father was here. He's here, and he was watching this little documentary, and the little parts that I seen, I said it, Levi not stupid, per se. They know who's causing most of the problems down in there, but they don't know the extent of the wickedness that Esau presents. You only can use your imagination if you're not spiritual, if the Lord didn't open your eyes to see. Right? Because that's what's wrong with our people today. Our people... Oh, well, let me get this real quick before I just read this too. That's spirit. Isaiah. Let me get this real quick. Isaiah 42:18. It says, "Hear, ye deaf, and look, ye blind, that ye may see. Who is blind but my servant, or deaf as my messenger that I sent? Who is blind as he that is perfect, and blind as the Lord's servant?" Now, who's the Lord's servant? Tells you Isaiah, I believe, is the 44th chapter. That matter of fact, let me just get to that, because I want to hit some key points. It's gonna be something marvelous, cooking up to the spirit. Isaiah 44. Oh, there it is. 44:1. "Yet hear, O Jacob, my servant, and Israel, whom I have chosen." So when it's speaking of who is blind but my servant, it's talking about Israel. 2/3 of the nation of Israel. Alright, all Israel together, but the Lord has awoken the elect from that. Verse 20. "Seen many things, but observed not, opening the ears, but he heareth not." So you see with your eyes the wrongs, the travesty, the injustice, the oppression, pretty much quote everything in a nutshell. All the wickedness that's around you, but you don't see. So, as for the island that was called Hispaniola, which was the whole entire island, Haiti and Dominican Republic, Levi, the Haitians, took matters into their own hand, and you could say they freed themselves from the oppressor, but the way they did it was so vile that the Lord got them back. It wasn't under the name of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai that they got that land back. Alright? It was under whatever deity that they was worshiping, whatever demon that they was worshiping. That's when they gave their honor and glory to, instead of the Lord, the creator of all things. Because the Lord blinded our people. Alright? He blinded our people. We didn't know who we were. Matter of fact, let me get that real quick. Hosea 1:10. It says, "Yet the number of the children of Israel shall be as the sand of the sea, which cannot be measured nor numbered. And it shall come to pass in that place where it was said unto them, Ye are not my people." What is that place? He's talking about America, Babylon the Great. So all these other tribes from the islands, from different countries, North America, Central America, Southern America, they didn't know who they were. They wasn't educated, but there was one place where they was going to get this education. They was going to get this truth. That was here in America. This is why the tribes are all coming into America. All the 12 tribes are here. All right. And it wasn't in the 60s. It wasn't in the 70s. Little by little, they were coming by the drove. But now, majority of them are here. So right here, we're told who we are. Ezekiel 37 and about what? 16th chapter? When it speaks of the plank. All right. Judah and his companions and Israel and his companions was talking about all 12 tribes. I'm not gonna get it. So when they pass by, they could see like, oh, look. Well, our family's from this place, but according to your chart right here, you're saying we're this or we're that. We're from the tribe of Levi. We're the tribe of Issachar. We're from the tribe of Naphtali, and so forth. So this was that place where we was not told who we were. We was told whatever we was told, and we went by it. You can't tell any of the tribes today that come from these countries, oh, you're this. They're gonna look at you like you got 3 heads. Especially a tribe like Levi, because they the first country to get the independence, and even went out and aided other countries with Jake there to lead them for they try to get their own freedom. So it was something that was being spread. Even if you go into the history, the flag for, hold on, I think Venezuela. The idea for the flag came from Levi. So Levi's influence is all over. But it's not, it says, it shall be said unto them, ye are the sons of the living power. So it was here we was going to be told who we are, who we truly are. All right? So our people was in total darkness, not knowing who they are, where they come from. So watching this little documentary, I don't want to make this too long. Matter of fact, before I go on, Scripture tells you, and this is why when you go into the history of that island, even though they kicked the French Edomites out, they won their victory supposedly, yet they still had to pay tributary to them for the loss of their wages, and it was going to be bombed. They was going to destroy them even more, so they had to make deals and they had to pay back billions of dollars before even billions of dollars was even thought of. So knowing that history, this is what Scripture says, Ecclesiastes 12 and 10. Never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. So they entrusted the fact that they would get out the debt of the French, and then when they thought they got out the debt of the French, the British got involved, and America got involved, which made the country to shit. All right, that's what the Scripture says about. Real quick, I'm gonna hit a couple of precepts, and I'm trying to get some points. Go from there and let the thing play out, because it's very interesting. Sorry, Deuteronomy 28. I just don't know here. And the 28th chapter of Deuteronomy 15 on down, it's all the tribes. All right, one way or another. And there's one particular verse I'm looking for. That's one. That is one. It says, verse 29, thou shalt grope at noonday as the blind gropeth in darkness. Meaning you're not going to know what's going on. Why is it going on? Why are you in the condition that you are in? Alright? I just read Isaiah, the 42nd chapter. And thou shalt not prosper in thy ways. So although it seemingly was a great thing to be freed from the French, all it did was to make matters worse and help spiral that country down to the shits. When they tell you the greatest period of that particular time was in the 40s, the 50s, and the 60s, where a lot of my grandparents ended up coming to America. Obviously, it wasn't that great over there, but they had to come little by little to come over here for a better opportunity, which we can go into a back of the second chapter, because we know what happens. All right, we're not ignorant of anything anymore, in the sense of, you know why a lot of us that were not born here, why our our parents or great parents, whoever, end up coming over here, because life in that particular island, which all these islands have enough riches to sustain the people there, but the governments are so corrupt that you can't make a living. So that you're in total darkness. It said, "That shall not prosper in all thy ways, and that shall only be oppressed and spoil evermore, and no man shall save thee." So no man was able to deliver Levi out of their condition, although it seemingly looked like what they did was righteous, which it was righteous, but what was the end results? So going back to Ecclesiastes 12 and 11 now. "Though he humble himself, go crouching, yet take good heed, beware of him, and that shall be unto him as if thou had wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust have not been altogether wiped away." So you're going to know for a fact that this white man is the devil. So when I saw this particular documentary, just a few seconds that I seen, I already said, now you know who's responsible. All right? Is because the scripture, this particular scripture is going to tell you, proving that what? The Most High have everything pegged. Everything pegged. In other words, when somebody, especially 2010, that earthquake that devastated that country, the first people that came to aid them was America. And not only was it America, it was the Clintons. A lot of Levi knows about this. This is not even a top secret news. They talk about it every time. Every time. And they know, but they can't put their finger into it, because they still have a certain undying love for their oppressors. But what is this whole truth is about? To realize who is your enemy. All right. Now people could say, "Oh, but Jesus said this and that." But who would Jesus, which is it's not his name? His name is Yahushua. What was he talking about? Was he talking about outside people? Did he go to the Romans and show them love and broke the scriptures down to the Romans? No, he was talking about amongst his people. This is how you have to govern yourself. This is how you conduct yourselves towards one another. It was never towards the other nations. All right? So get that through your thick skull for you people that's out there believing that everybody's in the same. No, there's a reason why a scripture like this constantly comes out. There's a reason why the Lord put the scripture to never trust your enemy. Because you have enemies. We have enemies. We have people that does not have our best interests in anything. All right? They are our enemies. They want to destroy us. Okay? And it says, "Set him not by thee, least when when he have overthrown thee, he stand in thy place," meaning he's going to take over. Then when you go into all the royals of Europe, all the royals of Europe, they're in the position that they are in, not because they're royalty. They're all usurpers. When you go into the history of the middle, what they call the Dark Ages and so forth, and they can't particularly tell you why it's the Dark Ages. Tell you because there was no intelligence. That was all a lie, because Esau himself, the so-called white man, the people that's claiming to be the kings, the royals, was not in a position. All right, they usurped their authority. They married into the royals, the true royals. Okay, that's where the concept of tall, dark, and handsome comes about. When you look the book of Nature Knows No Color Lines, it basically shows you coats of arms of Negroes. I believe in, is it Germany or one of the those countries? Yeah, I believe it's Germany. No, it's not Germany. They still, the natives still wear black faces, and people find that offensive, or they see dark hair woolly. I forgot the name of that thing. Slovakia. It's a lot of information is coming right now, but they had these dark faces of Moors, and they still to this day celebrate these particular things. Why would they? Because that's who was ruling. All right, it was what you call dark-skinned people. So people that was in position of royalty allowed people that was low standard, all right, to be near them, and they usurped their authority by marrying into their families, okay, and to bring up lesser houses up, and this is why you have in that. This is why you have these people doing what they're doing. But let me go on, Slakia. Neither let him sit at thy right hand, lest he seek to take thy seat. And that at that last, remember my words, be pricked therewith. So when the Clintons came in 2010 and made these so-called contributions and raised up funds, none of that money went into the Haitian people or the Haitian government. Or it might went into the government, but it didn't go to the Haitian people. Why? Because they was pocketing the money. All right? They was pocketing the money. This is what the scripture said. Who would pity a charmer that is bitten with a serpent, or any such as come nigh a wild beast? So you don't pity somebody that put their life on the line with a vicious, dangerous animal. That's what the scriptures are saying. In Esau, by nature, that's what the scripture says. Real quick, I'm gonna get this before I bring this video up. St. John 10:10. It says, "The thief cometh not but to steal, to kill." The thief cometh not but to steal, and to kill, and to destroy. And Esau's history from here, the Native Americans, the Tahinos, which they mentioned in this particular video. All right, they were there. Esau came and ransacked these countries, destroyed the natives. All right. So this is his history. So if you know this man is a wild beast, the conquistadors and what they did in Central America and so forth, you know this man's history. Why would you trust him? All right. Every single time they put their guard down, think of things. There was a scene, maybe it's part of the documentary I'm gonna let play, where when Haiti opened the doors to international investors to invest into their land so they could make money, yet they still haven't learned their lesson. All right, they still haven't learned their lesson because they wanted to be accepted. And this man, every time you allow this man to come close, he destroys. That's why I'm gonna let the thing play, but let me keep going. It says, verse 14. So any that goeth to a sinner is defiled with him, and his sins who would pity? For a while he will abide with thee, but if thou begin to fall, he would not tarry. So the government has completely been demolished. Now, like I said, this documentary is so ill for a short little documentary that when you really did these devils, man, they got some great plans, but the Lord is not gonna allow this thing anymore to go any further. It says, and the enemy speaketh sweetly with his lips, but in his heart he imagined how to throw thee into a pit. And he will weep with his eyes, but he will find opportunity. He will not be satisfied with blood. If thy adversary come upon thee, thou shalt find him. If adversity come upon thee. So The economic phases of all these countries. That's why they have economic hitmen's, because the economic hitman. That's how most governments get overthrown. They don't give a damn about no democracy. If it's not in the best interest of the West, of the powers to be, they will overthrow that government. All right, and they'll cause these adversities where the people turn on the leaderships of their country. That's why the last president, though he was not the greatest, he went against the grain of the world, and they took him out during C-19. All right. So he didn't go against the grain, and they made the worst even. They made the country more unstable. It says, "Thou shalt find him first, and though he pretend to help thee, yet shall he undermine thee." And that's what's happening. So let me let this thing play. I bring out a lot of scriptures. I'm gonna let some of this play out.
2010 earthquake in Haiti is approximately $8 billion to $14 billion in damages and economic losses.
So
this was not.
This whole particular thing is called Port-au-Prince can no longer be the capital of Haiti. So they're basically saying in this particular thing that the capital of Haiti, they gave the history of Port-au-Prince, where it got this name from, and all this other good stuff. But they're saying the capital got to be moved, and you have to. Which I'm gonna let it play.
The first time Port-au-Prince had to endure a devastating earthquake. Before the 2010 earthquake, Port-au-Prince had experienced several significant earthquakes, notably in 1751 and 1770, both with estimated magnitudes around 7.5. These earlier quakes caused extensive damage and near total destruction of the city, resulting in significant loss of life and property. Why we cannot have a capital built on a seismic fault. Being located on the Enriquillo Plantain Garden Fault Zone, Port-au-Prince is highly susceptible to significant and potentially devastating earthquakes. Capitals tend to attract large populations. Having a high concentration of people in a seismically active area increases the potential for high casualties and widespread destruction in the event of a major earthquake. A capital city generally attracts more investments and the construction of large, strategic, and costly infrastructures such as corporate headquarters, roads, bridges, and telecommunications facilities. This increases the cost of a powerful earthquake and makes reconstruction more expensive. Additionally, major hospitals and emergency agencies like firefighters and police, concentrated in a capital, also become victims and struggle to meet the immediate needs of the affected population. Besides that, as the seat of government, any major earthquake could potentially disrupt or destroy key government buildings and operations and kill important government officials, threatening the stability and continuity of national governance. The National Palace completely collapsed during the 2010 earthquake. If President René Préval had been at the palace at that moment, he could have died, and the country, already in the midst of a humanitarian disaster, would have also faced a political crisis and leadership confusion. In addition to this, Port-au-Prince is completely disfigured by anarchic construction. The deplorable state of these slums, where poor families live, fuels the frustrations of young people who become easy prey for armed gang recruiters.
So far, what you can see is the people that's making this documentary saying basically it was a stupid place to put a capital, right? Basically, that's what you're getting the gist of. But watch how these devils do their thing.
This anarchy and the resulting violence make the city unattractive externally, at a time when Haiti needs to rebrand itself to attract foreign investors. Demolishing everything to rebuild may be more costly, more restrictive, and very unpopular. Establishing another capital while simultaneously urbanizing other provincial cities will create a more natural and controllable exodus from Port-au-Prince. What would be the advantages for Haiti to establish a new city that could become its capital in the future? Relocating the...
Now, this scene right here, when I saw that remind me of with the walls that they building in Saudi Arabia. Right? This great big wall was like a glass. So I was like, oh, okay. You have international investors already plotting. Okay? That's why they have Ukraine as it's gonna this little couple minutes of it, you have to live under a rock to not understand that this devil is responsible for a lot of things that's going on bad. Because when you read Psalm 17 and 13, it says that called the wicked the Lord's weapon. So when we talk about all the time talking about Deuteronomy 28th chapter, Deuteronomy 28th chapter is not just a, a, a spooky, it's just spiritual how things are happening. Yes, there are spiritual things that are happening. However, the Lord uses men on earth to do certain things to whomever he judge. So when we read Deuteronomy 28th chapter 15 on down, that's a judgment against the nation of Israel. But what vessel is he using? He's using Esau. All right? So Esau has some major diabolical plans to reconstruct certain places around the world to make it fit his new world order. And let this thing play out.
Capital to an area carefully defined by experts, while simultaneously urbanizing other major cities in the country, will significantly reduce the damage caused by natural disasters such as earthquakes and floods. This will preserve the safety of residents and the continuity of government operations. A new capital, designed with modern earthquake-resistant infrastructure, will be more resilient, minimizing loss and facilitating quicker recovery from natural events.
And that wasn't like that before. Let this thing play out. Hey, Esau is your enemy. And you're going to learn the hard way.
Building a new city provides a unique opportunity to decentralize economic activities and promote balanced regional development. This project will stimulate economic growth by creating construction jobs, attracting foreign investments, and boosting local industries. By urbanizing...
Now, what you just said, which, a prime example, I'm just going to go by what I've heard. Haiti had their own rice field, own organic rice, where it was a bit expensive, but it was worth it. What did the Clintons did? They start sending rice to Haiti, cheaper rice, which killed their own way of making their living. So here it is. Once again, you have the people that don't have the best interests of the people of that land basically saying, oh, you have to attract more of these people. Why? For them to take over. These little things are not, oh, the people just got to do better. No, they want acceptance. Right? But check it out.
In other provincial cities concurrently, we can foster regional hubs of economic activity, reducing the excessive concentration of resources and population in Port-au-Prince. This decentralization will alleviate urban pressures, lower unemployment rates.
Well, you have a thing called gentrification here in the United States, where certain people are being pushed out of certain neighborhoods, so certain people can move in. Go back to Boys in the Hood, the scene with Lawrence Fishburne when he was breaking it down. What's happening to this day? All right, you have people out here being cast out their homes for X amount of time, generational, to bring in what they would call investors. All right, who will pay a higher price for this particular area, and everything around it goes high, sky high. So you have to keep that in mind. What they're saying, they want the people of the capital to exodus the capital and to come into this imaginary place, so they could start over but invite more investors. Let's let it play out.
And improve living standards across the country. A new city allows for the implementation of state-of-the-art infrastructure and smart city technologies.
And bingo. This is the key. All right. This is the key. Why the F they need smart cities now? When it all boils down to, it's all the same thing. All right. Let me get this real quick. Couple of them. Habakkuk 2 and let me start at 4. Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith. The soul, which is soul, is talking about Esau, Edom. It's not right because the Lord didn't make it right. He made it to be wicked. Yeah, also because he transgressed by wine, which is his philosophies. Right? He's a proud man, neither keepeth at home, who large his desire is hell, and is as death is not and cannot be satisfied, but gather unto him all nations, keepeth him to all people. Right? So he's not keeping at home, bringing the same philosophy. What all these countries all of a sudden want smart cities? Smart technology does not help out anyone. Matter of fact, it even makes people worse. They know that. They want to put everybody in the grid. They want to trap everybody. This is the plan that they have for that country. Pretty much all these countries. This is why a lot of countries are war-torn countries. Because they want to rebuild. And that's Tozi and Obadiah. No, I'm sorry, Malachi. All right? The Lord shall throw down. And they said that they rebuild. They want to rebuild these countries in their likeness. It says in Isaiah, I believe the 14th chapter. Then once Esau goes down, there will no more be cities. They want to create smart cities in these countries. It says, shall not all these take up a parable against him? A taught proverb against him, saying, against him, and say, woe to him that increases that which is not his. How long? And to him that ladeth himself with thick clay. That thick clay is talking about their debt, which is the debt and the sin that they're doing. Right? Real quick, Micah 2 and 1. It says, woe to him that devises iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When their morning is light, they practice it, because it's in the power of their hands. The earth is given to who? The hand of the wicked. It says, and they covet fields, which is fields, is lands. They covet it. They want lands. They don't play the same game that they call people that's criminals. They go for the gusto. They go for lands. They go for real estate. All right. Yeah, a person could have a couple acres of land and like, yeah, I own something. Nah, these motherfuckers want to own countries, man. And to turn it the way they want to. It says, and they take it by violence. Now, you may say, oh, they never took Haiti, and they taking it by violence because what was the prime example? That earthquake. That earthquake literally shook the foundation that left those people more vulnerable than they ever have been. All right? Giving up. Even my father said, he said, that's why he's buying a lot of land down there. There's a great land grab in that particular island. All the islands. All right? But we sticking to that island. There's a particular land grab in that island. They selling it because they want to do what? They want to take it from the locals and make those prices sky high. No difference what they're doing over here. It says, in houses, and take them away. So they oppress a man. This is why you go to these different countries rich in sugar cane, rich in fruits, rich in all sorts of matters. Oil, like Venezuela is dipped in oil, riches in oil. Trinidad, oil, right? I believe Guyana as well. All these different places. Yet those local economies are trash. Because these devils, they covet fields. They are oppressing the people. They're oppressing the poor. Why you think the poor of those lands will come up to the Americas? Everybody gets upset because they get loans and so forth. But people fail to understand the reason why, which I got to go back to Habakkuk, the reason why they're coming to this land for work and so forth, because they can't have nothing in their own land. They got to make the riches in here to go back to their own land where their fathers, all right, they fathers come from. Either they came, obviously they came from the slave ships, or there was natives a couple hundred years, which they are Israelites, just to go back into the land to earn more land. While this man's taking everything, he's robbing everybody, and his house, even a man in his heritage, was in the islands. You don't. Once you buy land, that land is for your family forever. So Esau's whole thing is like, nah, we got to go up in there, take the land, and do the same thing they do over here. That's why over here you buy a house. Or like my house is bought off you, so you paid off your mortgage, which mortgage just means till you die. So let's say if you pay off your mortgage, then you have property taxes. Now property taxes are going high, so you forever in debt. But in those islands, whatever land that you have, you paid off. Whenever you want to feel like going back, you go back. They don't want that. All right, this man does not want that. So there's gonna be, and the Lord. Let me go back to Habakkuk. Habakkuk 2. Go to the point. It says, the whole thing is verse 7. Shall they not raise up suddenly that shall bite thee, and awake that shall vex thee, and thou shalt be booties unto them? So what's happening now? Like it's not real hard news. All these people that's coming from different countries that's flooding the borders, that's coming to America, are the worst of the worst. Trump said it. He said they're sending their prisoners. They're not sending their best people. They're sending their worst. They said his crime rate has went down in some particular areas. Because why? They open the prison houses. They let all the worst of the worst. So now these average Americans, they're gonna be booty. All right, this country is gonna be to shits. It says because I has spoiled many nations, and that's one particular. Haiti's a victim of America's spoiling. Esau spoiling. All the remnant of the people shall spoil thee. Which obviously we are showing that this Bible is a living prophecy. This is exactly what's going on. The worst of the worst are here. All right, and they're about to spoil. Spoil doesn't mean how the world will say, oh, you keep giving it gifts or whatever. Spoil means robbing, taken by force. It says, because of man's blood and for the violence of the land of the city and all that dwell therein. Woe to him that covers evil covetousness to his house, that he may set his nest on high, that he may be delivered from the power of evil. So they do all this evil. That's what it says in James about woe unto you rich men, weeping howl for your miseries, because they robbed everything. This man is the true thief on the planet Earth. All right, that's who the Lord is coming back. That's the vagabond. It says that has consulted shame to thy house, and cut off many people, and have sinned against thy soul. So that his own citizens, yet they stole all these lands. They still mistreated the people. All right. For the stone shall cry out of the wall, and the beam of the timber shall answer it. So that's why America is a bloody land. All right. It was built on blood. But let me go to this thing. I'm going to get Revelation.
Planning from the ground up means we can incorporate sustainable practices, such as renewable energy sources, efficient waste management systems, and green public transportation networks.
They're trying to move forward, yo. This green movement is nothing but more oppression. Taxation of people just breathing air. You'll be highly taxed if you fart or whatever. Just living alone, you'll be taxed. This is part of their New World Order, Revelation 13 and 15. All right? They want the world to worship the beast. That's part of their New World Order. They're not in, but the thing is, like Haiti, they're being met with great resistance. Okay? The world's not going to take what these elites are plotting. They're not just gonna lie down and do it. Yeah, these stupid Americans, they're gonna, it's gonna take forever for them, but eventually you're gonna get it. That's what I said in Second Ezra, the ninth chapter, when you hear uproars of the people. Basically, the Lord is visiting. That's what it says in Proverbs 29:2. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice, but when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn. They're changing everything that the Most High has done. All you have to do is just eat a fruit, plant, take the seed, got land, then you plant that seed into that land. You have a next harvest, you have fruit. This man doesn't want none of that. Give GMO fruits, you put it in the land, it will never grow back anything. You just gotta keep going back to the drug dealer. Isaiah the 24th chapter. Alright? This green job that they're trying to establish is a monopoly on the Lord's creation, which is wicked as all hell. Alright?
These features will not only make the new capital environmentally friendly, but also significantly improve the quality of life for its residents.
See? So, from eating dirt cakes and all this other stuff, that would sound like the best option. But look all the hell they have to go through, and why they going through that hell? Because these governments are making sure that people suffer. They're making sure everybody exits to do a grand exodus of that land. All right. So when people that goes back to the land say, "Oh, this is my land, my property," like, nope, this is no longer your land. This is part of the United Nations. This is our land. That's what they're gonna end up doing. They say, "Oh, because this is gonna be the best options for you." Watch it.
Modern telecommunications and digital infrastructure will enhance connectivity and support the growth of a tech-savvy, innovative economy. Urban planning in the new...
A tech-savvy urban economy. Might I add, when I'll just say it. In 2020, 2019, 20, when everything shut down, they was putting up a particular thing up that was radiating people. Guess what? In that land, they didn't allow that shit to happen. That's why that president got whacked. All right. Now you're talking about technically savvy for the land, which a land right now, there's no peace, there's no rest. There's a civil war down there. So what are their true options? What are they truly trying to accomplish? They're trying to bring in a new world order to those people, which they're not down with it, and try to give you all these hopes and dreams as long as you're part of the system. Hey, this is Esau's planning, man.
Capital can address the social inequalities that have plagued Port-au-Prince. By ensuring affordable housing, access to quality healthcare, education, and public services, we can create a more inclusive urban environment. The strategic placement of hospitals, schools, and emergency services will enhance the overall safety and well-being of the population, reducing crime rates and fostering a sense of community. A well-planned...
The nation right now is in turmoil. It's literally in turmoil. So this is their only solution. And why... there's a reason why they have a revolution right now. Because the people that was in power were corrupt. And they had it their way. This is exactly how they want things to end up.
Modern city will serve as a beacon of progress, showcasing Haiti's commitment to development and stability. This new city will be a powerful symbol in rebranding Haiti's global image, attracting tourists, international businesses, and investors.
So it can be part of the beast system. So that means that certain things has to be changed in order for that to happen. You got to read between the lines what these people are trying to present. They're not presenting any good for anything for anyone. They're trying to do that to all these countries. All these war-torn countries, they already have ideas, just like how they destroyed Iraq. Right now, they destroy Ukraine, and they already have Ukraine to be, in the next near future, to be a smart city, to be a beacon how things to be. This man is very ambitious. All right, very ambitious. But the Lord got him right where he wants him. That pride, that vision. Okay, the scripture says, matter of fact, let me get that real clear. It says Ecclesiastes 12. And 3. And the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong man shall bow themselves, and the grinding cease, because they are few, which is happening now. It's a worldwide event. That's why you had, when they had I forgot the guy's name, but he basically said, you have to pretty much lay off a whole bunch of people, so people could try to want to go to work. That's the only way to save these economies. That's what it's basically saying. So put everybody into straight poverty and beg for work. So the grinding right now is low. There's only a few people can actually work. All right? Because hyperinflation is on the rise. These dollars, these fiat currencies are worthless. They're trying to enter their new thing. However, let me see, it says, and those that look at the windows be darkened. What's the windows? The future. So their future plans of creating these smart cities around the world is going to be darkened, because the Lord is going to destroy that. It's like I said, I quoted it earlier. It said, Esau shall build, but the Lord is going to throw down. Whatever he's trying to build, he's going to throw down. All these smart cities it's not gonna go nowhere. Plus, first of all, that shit says Haiti 2054. We ain't gonna even get that far. Alright? Because he's gonna be met with great resistance when he's trying to fill his new world order. Matter of fact, I'm keep talking about it. Revelations 13 and 15. It says, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast. What was that image? Their new world order. They revived the Roman Empire via NATO EU. America's part of this NATO EU extension. But what was Rome's main caveat at that particular time? They had every nation under them, every umbrella. They all had to speak no Latin. They all had to do the same. So this is the image of the beast. It says that image of the beast should both speak. So the Roman numerals, the law, you have to learn Latin and so forth. Everything that's practices of Rome, the Roman Empire. When they made that agreement, the Treaty of Rome, they called it. It was in Rome when they created the NATO EU. And Russia is not part of the NATO EU. It says, should both speak and cause that as many would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. So if nobody wants to be involved with this new world order, they're going to be taken out. All right. This is why here in America they had the Georgia Guidestone having the world's population to reduce to 500 million out of billions of people. So this man is going out there serving war, Revelation 6 and 4, bringing in famine. That's why you have the organization called the WHO, World Health Organization, who basically not feeding the world, bringing in plagues and so forth. All right, and then bringing massive death. So that way they could get rid of and take all the land grabs that they could possibly have. Having the world, again, in this next verse, it said that he causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark and a right hand on their foreheads, which is meant upon. That's why they want this whole technically savvy cities, smart cities, to be at play. Because if you don't have a technical savvy country, you can't give people the mark of the beast. All right. That's why you have the thing, the Internet of Things. But he's gonna cause all of everybody. All right. That's what it says in Revelation 3:10. On the hour of temptation that shall happen. Basically, all the world. The world in that sense is orca meaning the inhabitants of the earth. So the inhabitants of the earth are going to be subject to this thing, all right, and the MOTB, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name, which the number is. Here is wisdom. Let him that have understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 606 and 3 score and 6, which is 666. So they want to bring in the system so they can control everything and control everyone. Let this finish off. One more scripture.
Potential for economic zones, cultural centers, and international conferences will position Haiti as a competitive player in Latin America. Establishing a new capital.
Here it is. Haiti is the poorest country in the West. The poorest country. Yet with the most, for a lot of riches. Now they want you to sit on the table like as you as a major player. Nah, they'll never forget. They want to take over that country. The IMF is responsible. All these different organizations, ESOR is head of, they are responsible for these travesties that's happening to these places. Hey, even Puerto Rico, which I'm not surprised if I don't see a documentary on that. How they getting served. And they supposed to be the 51st state of America. They getting treated like they're nothing. Because they don't give two shits about your tribes. All right?
Will facilitate a more controlled and planned urbanization process. This can help manage the population density in Port-au-Prince, leading to a more balanced demographic distribution. With well-planned migration incentives and urban development strategies, the shift will be smooth and orderly, avoiding the pitfalls of rapid, unplanned urban sprawl. While the vision of establishing a new capital for Haiti is compelling, the project comes with significant challenges and a realistic time frame that must be carefully considered. The complexity and scale of such an undertaking require a strategic approach to overcome financial, logistical, social, and political obstacles. One of the most significant challenges is securing the necessary funding. Haiti's limited economic resources make it difficult to finance a large-scale project like building a new city. International aid, private investments, and public-private partnerships will be crucial to raise the required capital.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. If you can't see it, then I don't know what to say. So they need help from the same devils that's causing all the problems in order for them to get into the future. You know how many mother effers sold out to spill that shit to the people? People don't want to hear that shit. They want to be fed now.
Haiti may face a shortage of local expertise in large-scale urban planning and construction, necessitating the involvement of Haitian professionals in the diaspora and international experts and firms. Ensuring political stability and effective governance throughout the project is critical. Political instability could disrupt progress and deter investors. Radical reforms must be implemented in public administration and the judicial system to allow absolute...
Another thing right there. The Haitians are old school. There ain't no female anything. So they're really trying to bring in their madness.
Transparency in public spending and combat corruption, which could paralyze major projects. The environmental impact of construction must be carefully managed to avoid long-term ecological damage, requiring thorough planning and sustainable practices. Given Haiti's economic constraints and the complexity of the project, the timeline for establishing a new capital would likely span several decades. It may take 30 years or more for Haiti to establish a city worthy of being a capital, which, like any city, will continue to grow and improve over time. Despite the challenges of such a project, Haiti must logically plan its future development outside of Port-au-Prince, which is increasingly becoming a burden for the country.
So you get the gist of it. So shouldn't not the people themselves govern themselves and be able to do that? Shouldn't they have the necessary funds? What happened to all the riches? Because they robbed that place, and the their last president was assassinated. So Esau is selling bullshit tickets for people. Matter of fact, let me just end it off on James. James 5:1. And the Lord sees all that. And the Lord is pissed. Yet the Lord allow a lot of things to happen to his people, like it says in Isaiah 47. But he's pissed off at these elites. It says actually James 5:1. Go now, you rich men, weep and howl for your miseries that shall come upon you. Your riches are corrupted, and your garments are moth-eaten. Your gold and silver is cankered, and the rust of them shall be a witness against you, and shall eat your flesh as it were fire. You have heaped treasures together for the last days, and that's what's happening. There's a gold, silver, property, land, all these things that we're not seeing. These elites are grabbing they grabbing everything. All right, it's as they did in the past. They're doing it now. Isaiah the 10th chapter. Always just a precept to that. All right, they're doing it now. It says, "Behold, the hire of the laborers who have reaped down your fields, which is of you kept back by fraud." You just heard about the corruption, right? That's why there's a revolution down there. Because the people that was in a position of power were corrupted. And who was corrupting them? Esau, the Edomites. Mainly the elites. The elites are not going to go down there to anything. They're going to allow their underlings to get all the possible things that they can. I can almost guarantee the majority of that land is already sold. Alright? Sold to the elites. It says, which is of you that kept back by fraud, cry from the cries of them which have reaped are entered into the ears of the Lord of Sabaoth. Because there's a great injustice in the world. And the Lord has heard every cry from everybody. The people in the world are crying. But mainly the people that's crying is the elect of the nation. That's what the Lord is concerned of. And that's why America is going to be wiped out from the face of the earth. Because this is the avenue where the elites take to steal land. They use America. Alright? And the Lord of Sabaoth is the Lord of armies. You have lived in pleasure on the earth and have been wanton, which means undisciplined. Alright? Sexually undisciplined. It says, you have nourished your hearts as in a day of slaughter. And that's what they doing. They have nourished their heart. They're living deliciously. The elites. At one time, the Rothschilds were worth $500 trillion, which could wipe away all hunger on the planet Earth. They're not trying to do that. Because they're wicked. They're the wicked. Alright? You have condemned and killed the just. You have doeth not resist you. Because everybody's playing their part. And they're being unjustly destroyed. And it says, be patient therefore, brethren, on the coming of the Lord. Behold, the husbandman waiteth for the precious fruit, which is that time, that the time of the great harvest of the earth, and have long patience for it, until he have received the early and latter rain, which the Lord is. What is that? Let me get that. We ended off on this. Revelations. Is it 15? I always get that wrong. Revelations 14 and 19. And the angel thrusts, matter of fact, 18. And another angel came out from the altar which had the power over the fire, and cried with a loud voice to him that had the sharp sickle, saying, Thrust in the sharp sickle, gather the clusters of the vine of the earth, for her grapes are fully ripe. So is there a great big giant grape that's around no, it's talking about the wickedness of this world. All the wickedness in the world has reached its peak, but mainly here in America. This is the beacon of all. America is a focal point of the Lord's vengeance. Once this goes down, everything goes down with it. It says, an angel thrust in his sickle into the earth, and gathered the vine of the earth, and cast it into the great winepress of the wrath of the Most High. And the winepress was trodden without the city, and the blood came out of the winepress, even unto the horses' bridle, by the space of 1,600 furlongs. That's how much death. The scripture says, matter of fact, I haven't read that in a while. Let me get this. When the Lord comes and he rocks this world, tells you in Isaiah, not Isaiah, I'm sorry. Yeah, the one I'm thinking is Isaiah 24th chapter, but the scripture I'm thinking of getting through the Spirit. Jeremiah 25, I believe it's 25. To the point, 25 and I'll start at 31. A noise shall come even to the ends of the earth, for the Lord have a controversy with the nations. He will plead with all flesh. He will give them that are wicked to the sword, saith the Lord. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, behold, evil shall go forth from nation to nation. A great whirlwind shall be raised up from the coasts of the earth. And the slain of the Lord shall be in that day from one end of the earth, even to the other end of the earth. And there shall not be lamented, neither gathered, nor buried. There shall be dung upon the ground. And what's going to cause that? ICBM nuclear missiles. And the ICBM nuclear missiles, the focal point of the pummeling is going to be America. And the whole entire planet Earth is going to have a face change. Okay? So there ain't going to be no smart cities. There ain't going to be none of this futuristic BS. Because all of that is going to be dust. Alright, so with that being said, don't want your brothers edify. Shalom to the elected nations and shalom.